Hey, friends. How is everybody today? I wanted to talk about 3 tips on how to survive postpartum anxiety. Um, when I first got pregnant and had kids, I didn't realize I was suffering from postpartum anxiety once my children were born. So I suffered in silence for a long time. I didn't realize that the symptoms I had were postpartum anxiety. A lot of the time, postpartum anxiety can come out as rage and anger and irritableness. And as a mom, you have a lot going on, and you have so many things to do in one day that becoming overwhelmed can sometimes become the norm, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, we take that in as moms, and it's just something that happens. Maybe it doesn't happen to every mom, but as far as I can tell, it happens to most of them. And not knowing that you have postpartum anxiety can make it extremely hard to deal with your symptoms or to move forward because you don't know or understand really what's going on. So, today I wanted to talk about 3 tips on surviving postpartum anxiety, having been there myself and still there. But it's manageable for me now. I know how to manage it, and that's the difference. Okay, so the first tip that I would give you is to treat the symptoms. So that means you can go to the doctor and you can get medications if you feel like that is right for you. Clonopin is one that I hear works really well for some people, and it's safe to take while breastfeeding. So that's a good one. Uh, Me personally, what I use is essential oils. I will make roller bottles and I'll put stuff in my diffuser that help with stress, basically. So for me, lavender is a really good one, but there's lots of oils. I'm not gonna get into that because there's just so many. And you can look them up for yourself and see what ones work for you. The only thing I do suggest is you get it from a trustworthy source, one that's good, and ones from the grocery store, the health food store, or Target. Those are not good essential oils. Please don't use those on your body because they could end up actually injuring you or hurting you. So, yeah, and even inhaling those from a diffuser is not, I don't recommend that. So, if you need any info about a trustworthy source, just send me a DM and I can help you out. Um, yeah, medication is a good one. Making sure that you're getting enough sleep, you're eating healthy, you're getting enough water in a day, and oxygen. A lot of people take that for granted, or maybe you're like, oxygen, of course, we always get oxygen. But what I mean by that is that you're breathing deep breaths. So, what leads to an anxiety attack or a panic attack can be because your breathing gets so shallow and fast that it causes a panic attack. So a good way to deal with that is to learn how to breathe deeply. So that means like chest breathing. Like you would obviously do it way longer than that, but that is the way that it looks. And a thing that works for me is holding my hand over my chest so I can feel it inflating and then deflating. So making sure that you're aware of your breathing, and if you're having a panic attack, to learn how to have good breathing techniques can really help with anxiety and also with anxiety attacks or panic attacks, whatever you want to call them. So, deep breathing is extremely important. And another thing to treat the symptoms for your anxiety is exercise, even if that means just going around the block, even if that means doing a short YouTube video while your child naps, or maybe while they're sitting beside you, looking at you, thinking, what the heck is she doing? However you want to do it, do it. Do whatever works for you, but at least get in a little bit of time for exercise, because I can't explain to you how important it is. And I must say that I am guilty of not getting enough exercise myself, especially during the winter months. It's kind of hard to, I don't know. It's hard. No one wants to go outside in the freezing cold. But that's no excuse. You can do stuff inside too, right? So, those are how you can treat the symptoms. So medications, making sure you're taking care of yourself inside and out, body and mind. Exercise is important, healthy eating, etc. So those are really good ways for number one. And then number two would be to get rid of negative self-talk. So I know when people just have a baby, there's so much going on, and there's so much in your head that you're probably thinking, I'm a failure, or there's tons of things you can tell yourself that aren't true, and a lot of it has to do with anxious feelings and anxious thoughts, and you know anxiety gets to you and makes you feel a certain way, and makes you think things that aren't actually true. So instead of thinking those negative thoughts and going through with those negative thoughts, what I recommend is taking those negative thoughts and turning them into positive or more truthful or more useful thoughts. So, for example, maybe the baby's crying and you're thinking in your head, I just can't do this. A good way to replace that would be to say, I can do this, but it's a little hard right now, but I can still do this. So you're changing it, even if it's just a little tweak. You're changing the thought from really negative to more of a positive one, and you'll find that that the more you do this, that the more you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, the less that you feed the beast, so to speak, the beast of anxiety and those anxious thoughts, the less that you feed them, or that the monster, the more it'll go away. It'll eventually start to diminish and it won't be there anymore, because you'll have trained your brain to have more positive thoughts and to think more positively. The brain synapses in our brain, the ones that send signals, you can change those. You can change those. I mean, we do have deeply ingrained ones from when we were children, but you can always work on those and change them. It's totally possible, and you can totally do it. If I can, you can. Trust me. So one book that I did want to recommend for help with these negative thoughts is called Pregnancy and Postpartum Workbook. And it's by Pamela Weigartz. So that's Pamela, Weigratz. So that book will help you to manage your thoughts and to turn them into more positive ones, to get you on more of the right track. Okay, and then the third tip that I have is to figure out why. Why are you having these thoughts? Most moms, they don't understand what's triggering this brain reaction for them to have anxiety. And, if you figure out what that trigger is, then you can learn how to move forward and how to handle it and how to handle what you're dealing with. So maybe, for example, maybe you feel like your expectations as a mom have been because you know how society puts like this picture of how a mom should be out there, and a lot of moms, they have their baby, and then they see this expectation of what a mom should be, and they don't feel like they're living up to it. And let me tell you that no mom can live up to that. There's no such thing as super mom. There's no such thing as perfect mom. Sorry, that's my alarm. So just be aware of that, and understand that no one is ever going to be that perfect mom or that super mom that the social media or whoever tries to put out there. It just doesn't exist. So that's one thing that I would just say about that. But maybe you have other triggers. Maybe you're like, the baby's crying and it reminds you of a time that you felt helpless and you felt like your needs weren't met, and all of a sudden you start feeling anxious because you connect with that, and you might not even be conscious of these things. They just happen and you're not even conscious of it. So I mean, and a lot of these things do happen unconsciously. So that's what I mean by digging and trying to find, why is this triggering me? Why am I not liking this? Why do I feel the way I feel? Why? I'm telling you, you are going to have to dig deep for this. You're going to have to really think about it and really try to understand why. And that is totally normal. So don't think that it's not, because it's totally normal to have to really, really think about something. I suggest even taking notes, because taking notes, it helps so much. And then you'll know for next time, oh, well, this is why, right? Maybe another one is becoming a new mom makes you feel uncomfortable and uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know if you can do this. It's so hard. And you just don't know anymore. And maybe you miss the way things used to be. You miss like not having any responsibilities or anything. And just so you know, that is extremely normal as well. And it doesn't mean you don't love your kid. And it doesn't mean that you wish you didn't have your child. Of course, it doesn't mean that. I'm pretty sure probably most moms think about how they used to be in the past if they were doing well, not if they were like a drunk or something, but they think about how they were in the past and they're like, I really miss doing that. I really miss that about my life and how it's not there anymore. And that's normal and it's okay. It's okay. And you're not alone in feeling that. I just wanted to say that. And once we figure out why, then we can empathize with ourselves and we can understand and we can say this is okay. It's okay. I understand why I feel this way now and it's okay. And it is okay. So don't ever feel like you're this horrible mom because you're having these feelings, or you're feeling anxious and you're upset, and just don't ever feel like you're a horrible mom because of those things, because it's not true. So that is my 3 tips for today. I just wanted to get in here and say that real quick because it's something that I've struggled with and it's something that I continue to struggle with, but I'm learning how to manage because of things like I've just told you. And I mean, there's so many other ones, but I'll leave that for the group I have, where I just started a 30-day challenge. Actually, it's a 28-day challenge. And it's in my group called Educated and Empowered Truth-Seeking Mamas. It's in the description above. So if you'd like to find more of this kind of information, then I'd love for you to join us. I'll also be talking about gentle sleep training in there. I'm working on becoming a certified sleep consultant for your children, toddlers, and babies. So I will be able to help you on that path. And I also have my diploma in human services, a certificate in mental health and addictions. So yeah, I know what I'm doing educationally and experientially, so I want to help you. And if that is something you'd like to do, then please join my group. I hope to see you there, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.